welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it. Well, we are on the Without the Bank podcast, where we talk about all things infinite banking, business, anything of the sort. Today, I am going to mix a little bit of how I work into some business advice. So I just had a call with a potential client, and it ended a little bit interestingly because he recognized the fact that how I do things is a little bit different than how most people do things. And so I thought it was kind of funny. And obviously, I've maybe not talked about it on this podcast before, but a lot of people are concerned about setting up an appointment with me. Oh, it's an hour and a half. She's going to try to sell me something, when in fact, that is quite the opposite of what I do. I am not a salesperson. I am a teacher, and that is exactly how I look at things. But I understand that you, as the consumer, that is not typically your experience. So I just want to share a little bit about what happens in that hour and a half meeting and what you get to do. Because I've said this before, and I am sure that I have talked about it on this podcast, but you guys are the banker. It is about you becoming the banker, not Mary Jo being the banker for you, not Mary Jo's assistants being the banker for you. It is about you taking that responsibility. With you taking that responsibility, it is also your responsibility to read the book, listen to the podcast, educate yourself, be active as a client with me. That's why I have you read the book first, is because that means that you already took responsibility to create the knowledge you need. So when we get into the meeting, we can have a productive meeting. Not just this meeting of me trying to sell you on the concept. I've had meetings with people where they're like, oh, you're just trying to sell it. I said, if that's what you think, then we're done. We're done having this meeting because you're in the mindset that I'm selling you something, not teaching you something. I have no time for that crap. I am not selling you anything. And so in that hour and a half meeting, we are going to go over what you're doing with all of your stuff. And then we are going to talk about how the policy is structured. We're going to talk about how loans work. If we have time, which is 99.9% of the time, we're actually going to look at some numbers that apply to you. So your job is to come to that meeting with some questions, and I will answer as many of those questions as I possibly can. Now, at the end of the meeting, if you want to do business with me, that's 100% up to you. But you get to schedule your time to do that application with my assistant. I'm not going to schedule it for you. And it was funny because this potential client's like, oh, that's interesting that you don't say, okay, well, what day can you schedule? No, I'm going to send you the link. You do it yourself. Then when it comes time to do the application, you're going to have to gather some information to let my assistant know that, who's your doctor? What medications are you on? We need your driver's license information. We need your gross income and your net worth. There are things that we're going to need from you. Now, some people can't get us those things for whatever reason. They forget about it, or they're too busy and they don't make it a priority, whatever it is. Guess what? I don't hound you. You are not going to hear from me. My assistant might call you a couple of times. After a couple of times, I'm done. I'm like, stop calling them. They're obviously not serious about starting a policy, or it is not priority right now, or they're busy, whatever. We're done. We're not going to hound you. I don't need you as a client. And then if it's that hard to get you to do things right away, you're not going to pay your premium. Then I'm going to have to call you to pay your premium. And guess what? I'm not a collections agency. Our ideal customer is not a client that is going to have to be reminded to pay premium. The life insurance company sends 2 letters, one that says, hey, your premium is due. Another one that says, hey, your premium is past due and we're going to cancel this policy if you don't pay it. You get 2 notices from them. If you're not opening your mail and We will call you a couple of times to say, hey, you got to pay your premium. But ideally, that's not the case. That's not what we want to do. We want clients that want to be their own banker and they take this seriously. Now, we do have clients that we have to remind them to pay premium. We have to remind them to do all these things. Some of those clients we have early on, maybe we went and called more frequently, or we did all those things I was told to do in business. Oh, follow up with them 9 times, right? Or 7 times, whatever the magic number is. So if you're somebody out there that owns a business and they're like, oh, follow up with that person 7 times before they'll say yes. Oh, heck to the no. No way am I calling you 7 times to beg you to do business with me. I'm not even going to call you once. If you are listening to this on either a podcast or especially YouTube, and you put in the comments on YouTube, call me, you're never going to get a call from me. That's not happening. You have to go get the book, listen to the book or read the book, and then in your emails, you get a link to my calendar. You schedule your appointment. I'm not going to schedule your appointment. You can call our office and we will schedule your appointment. But I'm not going to reach out to you and be like, oh, yes, please do business with me. Nope. That strategy is absolutely pathetic, in my opinion, because I personally hate salespeople. If you try to sell me something and you try to do a hard sell, I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't care how bad I needed it. I'm not buying it. I will wait for it. I will go somewhere else. I will not do business with people that pressure me into buying something. My nature is to automatically say, nope, don't need it. Because y'all know I'm a little bit ornery. And so I'm not going to treat my clients or potential clients in a way that I hate being treated. If you want a life insurance policy and you want to do business with somebody that's here to teach you something, then this is absolutely perfect. But if you don't want to be taught and you just want to put money away passively and not be active with it and forget to pay your premium or not make it priority, then there's nothing that I can help you with in that aspect. I am probably not going to be the best fit of an agent for you. There are people that are busy. Businesses are busy. There are seasonal businesses that are busy. And I 100% get that. 100%. There are a lot of things that I personally put off because I'm busy. But those things are put off because, frankly, they're not important. If they're important to me, I would have gotten them done. So if you are out there and wondering like, oh, hey, I've read the book, I've listened to these podcasts, but I don't want some high pressure sales when we get in there, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. You get to decide what you want to do, and you get to decide if you want to move forward. Because I don't have time. I have a full calendar. I don't have time to be chasing people that don't want to do something. And you could ask, but you don't know the people. I have people that I met with 2, 3, 4 years ago that come back to me and say, oh, hey, okay, I'm ready to do something now. They were not ready at the time, but I have not done anything to ask them if they're ready. I haven't followed up. I used to very early on in my career. I did that because that's what people said to do. And guess what? It did not create any more income. If it did create new clients, it created horrible clients that now have to have their hand held, or clients that don't want to participate in becoming your own banker. Clients that I maybe haven't talked to in 6, 7, 8 years because they don't care about what they have. That is not my ideal client. That is a client that will most likely end up canceling their policy. So I have a friend that says if you drag them in, you drag them around. And if you have a business, that's exactly what happens. If you drag them into your business, then you end up dragging them around because they don't want to learn anything. They don't want to participate. And if you are okay with that, then you go ahead and keep doing that. But if you want better clients, if you want people that understand what you're doing, let them do their due diligence and come to you instead of you going to them. Now, that doesn't mean we don't call our clients. We definitely call our clients. We definitely do whatever we can to help them. And I try to be as available as I possibly can for them to answer questions, run strategies, do all that stuff. But there are clients where we're not babysitters, and that's probably going to tick some people off, but that's not our job. The notices get sent out. We want them paid, and we want clients that want to pay them. Okay. So if you're a client listening to this and you haven't scheduled an appointment, that's what I'm here for. If you forgot why you have the policy, that's what I'm here for. Make the time if it's important to you. But if you are somebody out there that is thinking about wanting to be a potential client and, oh, she's just busy because she's a great salesperson. No, I'm a great teacher. If that's what you want to use me for, if you want a salesperson, go find a different agent that's hungry for money and sleazy, because that ain't me. That's all I had to say today, you guys. That's it. I am going to be in Iowa, July 20th. I will be having a meeting for clients in July at the library in Cedar Rapids. I do not have an exact time yet, but we will have a client only thing, and then we will have anything for new clients. So if you are in and around the Cedar Rapids, Iowa area, be on the lookout for tickets to that. They are not going to be expensive. I just need a ticket so I know how many people I should prepare for. So let us know if you have any questions on that. Let me know if you have any questions on the book. If you need to schedule an appointment, whatever, Mary Jo at withoutthebank.com. If you've not gotten the book yet, go to withoutthebank.com and grab your book now. And then, yes, it's in audio. And if you buy the audio, at the bottom of the link for the audio to download, there are the numbers. So there's PDFs of the numbers. Please look at those. I am finding that people are not looking at those, and then they have no idea how this whole thing works. So make sure that you are reading, if you're listening to it, that you are reading those numbers and that you're listening to it while you look at those numbers. One hassle of an audiobook is that there's a lot of numbers in these books. And so you're going to want to have the actual book, in my opinion. Get them both. But if you just get the audio, there is going to be PDFs of the case studies. Okay, guys, let me know if you need anything from me. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day.